Hey, everybody, it is number 6 in the Indavo animation live streams. Episode 3, still going on. It's long. It's very, very long. It's at the almost 22-minute mark as we speak, and there's still quite a bit to do. Where are we today? Well, we are at, as you can see, we are at shot 246 of how many? Well, about probably about 300-ish. We're getting down to the last 2 minutes. The last 2 minutes is going to have a plethora of frame by frame fighting, in which I shall try with my meager skills to give us some very shonen anime-esque fight scenes in brief flashes. And make this happen. But till then, we've got to get there. And now we have rejoined our heroes after an aside to the Empire of the Sword. We're back on the bridge of the adventure. And what's happening is basically Indavo, Rachel, and Guarantee are bringing A1 and Ratty and Mac up to speed on exactly what the plan is with Smart. They think the Smart is shady and he's up to no good, but it's gonna be somebody if they don't deal with him. So they're gonna keep on their toes. And to that effect, we now continue in progress. Okay, so here we are in Moho, as I have been rambling along. So yes. Oh, by the way, I am Nathan Botter. I am the animator, creator, scripter, director, asset creator, producer of everything except for the voices of Indavo, the animated series. It's Indavo 3.0. There have been 2 previous versions of Indavo. One is a webcomic. Indavo started in 2003 and ran until 2010. Some 700 pages, 3 times a week. Quite spectacular. And then a few years later, in 2012, I did Indavo 2.0 with only 1 page a week, different art style, and that ended right at the pandemic, really, in 2020. And the ending, I thought was a little nah. In retrospect, I was like, So, but this one, I have a better ending in store for us. I definitely hope, anyway. We shall see how this all pans out. I also draw the tales of the Big Buddy Monster, a true life tale of Murphysboro, getting ready to go into issue 3, which is a maybe total fabrication, or maybe a mix of fiction and non-fiction stories. We're still in the development stage, just spitballing a bunch of ideas to see what happens. Anywho, let us begin. So, here in Moho, I've already saved this, but we're going to bring in some assets. Let's bring in some of those assets. Let's go to import. Let's go to Emarge. And, boy, I have some assets in here that don't belong in here, but that's okay. There we go. Okay, so this is our background. And it's basically, do I really need it? No, it's basically for you, the audience's gratification. So, you're welcome. So you kind of get the idea what it's going to look like. We shall animate in Moho, then we shall reassemble these scenes in After Effects in order to put all sorts of different effects. Now, I will say yes. Moho has gotten pretty good about its compositing abilities over the years, but I'm still using After Effects because that's how I started using it. And so in order to keep continuity, and not to really disrupt the workflow too much, I'm just going to kind of keep doing this until Adobe becomes completely untenable with their "you're going to use AI, damn you" attitude. Should also note that no AI has been used in the creation of Indavo 3.0, not even in the music, and you can tell. Wow. Yes, I'm doing that all myself. And let me tell you, I am not musical. Okay, so what I've got is I've got the layer transform tool here. First, I'm going to kind of do that, make a keyframe down here. Okay, go to 1 second. Because all Sulin servitors have anti-grav pulse systems, but they're not exactly great. So they really kind of have this bobbing effect. How realistic is that? Yeah, probably not. But you know, it's a neat thing to do that says, "Hey, I am floating." This is not hard science. This is not hard sci-fi. So okay, we're gonna move that to there. Okay, now before we do anything else, we're going to go over here to the sequencer. Activate that. Okay, now we're going to go to second one, and we're going to go to here, and we're going to import, and we're going to audio file import, and we're going to go back to where I have this saved. Well, look at all this. So that is truly the work of an insane person. Character flaw. I cannot do a short story. Okay. Maybe one day. All right. So this is our... Oh, we're not getting anything here. Oh, no. All right. Well, 1 second, please. This is kind of semi-crucial for your audience experience to hear this. Well, maybe not. Not this time. We'll restart on the next scene. For right now, it's not perhaps necessary. So, okay. So this is the audio file, and the sequencer allows us to move that audio file wherever we need it. We just need it 1 second. This gives us the idea that we have now 6 seconds. So we go to here. Our M frame is 144, which is 6 seconds. We hit enter, bam, and it ends right there. Okay. Okay, let's go over here to the asset panel, into the layer panel, sorry, and hit the Vox. He has, basically, that's the mouth layer. So he basically has 2 settings on the mouth layer. On and off, because he's blinking. Double click on that, and it opens up a panel which you currently can't see. Let's bring that over. Okay, this is the layer settings panel. We go to switch. Okay. Since this Vox panel is a switch panel, you can tell it's got the little switch symbol on it. And a green arrow, which means it's linked out to the original file. But we'll worry about that later. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that audio file, and we're going to hit enter for the apply. And we're going to go back to here. Okay, now you can see that... Geez, it hardly picked up anything. And that is depressing. Okay. So basically, he says something there and doesn't blink until here. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, well, first, let's go back to the layer panel. And to our bobbing action here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go to here. Okay, and we're going to select that. Right-click, or the back button on your stylus, and hit cycle, if you've set it that way, which I have. And okay, this creates a cycle or a loop of action just on this layer, just on the layer up and down. It doesn't affect any of the other bones, as you can see here. It does not affect any of these. So we can feel free to animate over that in the bone layer, and he will continue to bob up and down. Oh, but I did it wrong, so we need to reset that. Okay, well. Delete and paste in. Okay, so what I did is I copied this keyframe, put it here, so we should be going to the exact same spot. Yeah, okay, now let's hit that cycle thing and plow. And now we got us bobbing, floaty motion going on there. Okay, let's fix this Vox. Okay, so this is depressing. So basically, it did not, because maybe it doesn't think it's loud enough. Sometimes Moho does this. It doesn't think that I have everything loud enough to do. So I'm going to have to kind of go through here and defeat the purpose of even having this auto keyframing in the vocal things and actually turn on the, whenever he's got something. The waveform is basically what I'm doing, is just going by the waveform here. And yeah, and we'll start that again here with a 1, and we'll go back down to there. We'll go to closed, and we'll go to here. 1 at the end of this one, we'll hit closed. And okay, all we have to do is hit 1 there, and we'll go to right up there, and so on and so forth. This is mind-numbingly boring to you, I am sure. But this is how you would auto keyframe mouth movements. If you wanted to do something more phonetic, there is another program that would allow you to do that. And that's where you have the THs, the S's, and the mouth positions for the E's and the O's. More American Western animation. You could do that. It would be sort of one and closed. It'd be closed, and then THOs, S's, blah 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 blah. M's, and you just select those mouth movements here. But there is a program called Papagayo where basically you type in, you upload your audio file, then you type in the dialogue that is said. Hopefully copy paste it out of your script if you've done that. And instead of doing it on a cuff, Adult Swim style. And then that would automatically program the mouth movements for you. I've had mixed results with it, so I've decided to kind of shoo all that and go with the lip flaps, anime style lip flaps, which will make it easier to translate into other languages such as Norwegian. All right, now let's see what we got here. So we should have a rather prodigious amount of blinking going on. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's save. Let it save for a second and see what we have got. Okay. All right, we're not getting anything here. So there we go. Let's just kind of scrub the timeline a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. When it's saved. Okay, this is kind of done. Well, I mean, I guess I could add a little bit. So basically, we're going to go to here, and we're going to say, make sure we got the bone manipulation tools on, create keyframe there, and then we're going to like adjust his, maybe he's talking this way, this way. Okay, there. Yeah, just a simple movement, kind of gives it a little bit more life for a robot. Your mileage may vary. Alrighty, so there we go. That is the take the background out. We are ready to go. Let's hit save one more time. Make sure everything is saved. All right, and now we're going to go and to export the animation. Okay, now we're going to go to image sequence, and we're going to go to choose folder, and hey, we're in the right folder and everything. That's amazing. Now we're going to choose this one here. Okay, so we're going to make sure that this is labeled appropriately because the other one is not actually rendered the next more complicated scenes assets into the wrong one. It's fine. It'll be okay. So all right, what you can't see right now is that A1 is rendering out. He has some of this nice gradient, which is actually based on point system. So there's a point here that I have set to extrude a more whiter color, and a point here that's extruded a darker color. It gives it a bit of 3D ball effect. And we're done rendering. Okay, so now let us bring up After Effects. Pow. Okay, so here we are in After Effects. All right, let's get out of that and let's hit a new file folder. Shot 246. Okay. This is a very, very short scene, by the way. So, trying to remember exactly how short it is. I think I said 6 seconds. I believe I did. Aha. We can always adjust it later. So I'm setting that up right now. Typing in all the boring stuff. I showed up in the wrong place. And let's hit save just to make sure. Got to be a ginormous project. And there's some ratty heads from the previous scene. All right, let's grab this here. Okay, I'm gonna drop this into here. Bow. All right. Should I grab that layer there? Let me grab that one right here. Okay, our white overlay there, and you can notice it's a white line there because oh my gosh, there's a gap in the 3D model. Embarrassing. I didn't detect that until recently, and I was like, well, dang it. My solution is one to just take a black solid like this one right here that I created and plop it there and then drag it below there, and it fills it in really nice. Boom. You can't even tell. Little bit of bullnose at the top of the ceiling. Crown molding, that's what it is. Yes, crown molding. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right. So what we need now is we need our audio, which was not showing up, so I hope this audio is actually there. That's a defect. Let me go ahead and close Moho while Let me get this set up here. Okay, so that's in place. Let's drop our A1 into here. So let's go to import file, go to the renders. Oh, not the door renders. That's for the next scene. Jumping ahead of ourselves here. Okay, so it came in at 30 frames per second, so we have to readjust it to 24. So we're doing that right now. A little window that, again, did not show up on the stream screen. We'll try with it. All right, so for the sake of expediency, I always tend to grab, and consistency, layer effect. So I grab this inner shadow effect, which is not actually an inner shadow, it's more of a highlight, as I've said it for hard light and with white. So it gives you the nice kind of at the top. The gradient overlay just isn't necessary with A1 since he already has his own kind of built in. Besides, it'll darken his eye and his speaking. So let's hit save on that and let's preview this out.
I too can assist guarantee. There are several options for the reconfiguration.
Excellent. All right, so that is ready to render. So we're going to add this to the render queue. And then we're going to go, it will go to the render queue automatically. And we're going to choose our file folder that we will render this into, which is 246, strangely enough. And we're going to go ahead and render that out so you guys can hear that satisfying bleep that After Effects gives. All right. Okay, so let us go back to here and fire up our Moho again. All right, firing up, bam. All right, we are back in business. And we have a scene here of a gorilla, which is not mine, one of Moho's stock scenes. Let's go to new, and we're just gonna get rid of the old untitled one, and we're gonna save this one as 257. Okay. 247, sorry. Jumping into myself slightly. Okay. So all we need is we need to import the background. Now, yes, I put the background on the wrong one. Yes, obviously. There's a door here, so we're just going to hit... this door will be fine. Okay, so what will happen is that Guarantee will speak a line, turn around, walk out the door, and Radiant A1 will follow. Door will close. Those things have already been rendered in Blender, because I didn't want to have you sit here for 45 minutes while that renders out. We're going to put all that together in After Effects. For right now, we just need to do the animation for Guarantee, his line, and Radiant A1 following him. So let us get started on that. Boom. All right, and you can see that white there, gap there again, where that 3D model is not complete. I will be fixing that. But not at this current time. I'm trying to charge ahead. So let's go to frame 1, to our sequencer. Let us grab our audio file. Let's have the Guarantee speak.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Bam. All right, it's a short line, and then at 3 he's going to turn around, or maybe at 2 as he's saying that he's going to flip around and walk out. So that's excellent. How long will the scene be? Well, I've got 10 seconds on here, so let's leave it at 10 seconds and see where this goes. All right. Now, for the purposes of our animation, this closed door, we'll use this for the open one. And all we have to do is, this door frame here is our vanishing point. So any character going into the door will shoosh and disappear after that. So it will be fine. I hope. Because there's a bit of a hook in the hallway, but yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll fudge it if I have to. All right, so let's bring in Mr. Guarantee to begin with. We'll do his entire animation run, then we'll bring in Radiant A1. A1 will be the one who leaves this scene last. Okay, animation resources, characters, and into Guarantee. All right, now, before we do anything, this is, once again, I do not design the characters in true 360 degrees, so I do a 180 turn. Okay, so we can't really turn the other way, but since he is he's completely symmetrical. Yes, symmetry? Yes, symmetrical. That's the word. Yeah, I can just go over here to his layer, double tap on that, bring up the layer settings, and we're just going to flip horizontally, and we're going to enter, and this is the other side. So, I mean, now he can indeed speak his line and turn and walk out the door like that. Okay, great. Now, but he's too small for that, so let us bring him up inside. Just a little bit here. Not too much. Now, Guarantee is pretty big, and the shoulder pads are going to have to come in. He's going to he's standing a few, let's say, a bit in front of the door, so he'll shrink down. His shoulder guards, whatever I want to call them, will kind of fold in as they did in episode 1. So they really designed the blender model way before I designed it. Thought about that. Doorway width. Anyway. Oh, let's go ahead. Why, before we get started with anything, he's going to be talking, so let's have him talk. Let's have him with the mouth layer. Okay, he's just going to go boom, boom. We're just going to have the regular mouth going. And boop. All right, and go back out here.
Come on then, down to the bay.
All right, good. Let's go back up to that control bone layer. There we go, bone layer. Okay, excellent. Okay, now, let's see. Rani is going to be about that tall going out the door. And yes, it's fine. All right, we're going to raise him up just a little bit, make him just a little bit bigger. He's going to scale out the door then. All right, initial setup here. Let's see, I was just thinking quietly to myself. But see, the head can go the opposite direction. It can go all the way around, but it can also go the opposite direction. I did plan that a little bit because sometimes you do need to turn the head without turning the entire body. Or trying to flip the head layer, which creates all sorts of unfortunate nightmares. So let's not do that. Let's just do this, and let's go to see where we're at here. Let's get him into his original. That head down just a slight bit. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. He's probably going to move this arm here. Let's just see his right hand. His right hand. Okay. Let us open. Is that going to be correct? Not quite. That's a pointy open. I want it open. There we go. That's what we want. All right. So we need. And I'll go back to fist. It probably will go back to fist. And
on down to the bay. Head on and down to the bay.
Let's turn that into a. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Bam, like that. Okay, and we may have to adjust that as he turns, but for now, that's what the action is going to be. There. Okay, going to be. Okay, well, all right. Alrighty then, let's go to 18, frame 18, and this is where we're going to start the action at.
Come on.
Bring that head up.
Come on. Come on, then.
All right, good.
And down. Down to the bay.
Okay, and let's jump ahead a little bit here, and now we're going to body turn him around, okay? Okay, so we're going to body turn him here, like so. Okay. this will inform. Let's change that left hand. Okay, so all the frames, all these layers rearrange themselves whenever you hit the body turn keys. This is called a smart bone, and it's like programming. So at certain angles of the bone, these layers assume a certain configuration. In this one, the left hand is shrunk down to here, so it's back here. But we need to probably right about here, what's hidden behind. Change that left hand to this back and see what this looks like. Ooh, well, maybe that's not the goodest, the best, the goodest. Maybe that's not the goodest one at all. Nah, let's just do open. Let's see what we got. That will do.
Down the bay. Down to the bay.
Okay, 3. All right. So as he's turning, he will be taking a step. So now let us back to here. Okay, so this arm is forward. We're going to assume that it's the other. The other leg is moving forward. Okay. Now we're going to move his. This is the hip control bone. All bones linked to this hip control bone. That we can move the entire rig with one go and not have to worry about the whole shebang. We're not going to worry about the feet positions that much because it won't matter. All right, and he will proceed. Okay, so. Okay, so we're going to go to the halfway point here, and we're going to assume that this leg is indeed going up, and he's going here. Okay, now we're going to go to the layer manipulate transform tool, and we're going to make sure that we got a key layer right here. And we do. Yes, we do right there. Bam. Okay. So now, before I do anything else, no. Let's put that there, and we'll come back. I'm trying to get ahead of myself, I guess. Okay. Okay, let's move that. Ah, wrong. Incorrect. No, 9. All right. Let's move that to here, and that's here. Okay, now. Okay, now we're just going to do the main steps. Movements of your steps. Okay. Is that just one step through the door, I suppose? Okay, now let's readjust our arms. All right, let's get that down to here. Down to here. We're going to put that forward there. There's some funkiness going on there, but we're not going to worry about that yet. Okay. Let's get this other foot moving at second 5. And this is going to take us out of shot. Yes. That will take us out of shot. Okay, boom. He's done. That's all we need. Mm-hmm. We don't need the rest of the hallway. But for the sake of not causing a lot of convolution, we're going to go ahead and animate out the rest of this. Just going to move him off the actual live area. Okay, let's get some, ooh, so you got some funky things going on the leg. So in order to fix the funky things with the leg, we need to kind of whoop that up there. All right. And we're going to say that those shoulder pads are going to have to go down here already. He will shrink with the layer setting. Actually, I probably could go ahead and do that now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so let's go ahead and take him down a little bit like so. We're moving him in 3-dimensional space. So there we go. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. All right, so this leg was in the back. I actually remembered this time. Okay, so sometimes because your rig is contorting itself for this faux 365 degree, 180 degree settings, your legs will bend the wrong way. To correct that, you just select the lower limb control bone and you hit your rotation, and that'll snap it into the proper configuration. All right, and since he's walking, we're going to kind of do one of these deals. He needs needs to probably be a little bit smaller than that. I'm going to have to shrink it down a little bit more. Okay, let's go down to 6. And let's find that, make sure we got on that keyframe. We are, okay, let's shrink this guy down just to move him down just a little bit more. Oh yeah, there he is. He's clearing the door. Okay, good. Just making sure he's clearing that crossbeam. Might have to duck. Oh, what sad times are these? Yeah. All right. Well, tell you what. There we go. All right, there we are. Okay, let's go ahead, go to here, and okay. So let's bring not that one. This one, I always grab it. See, and that's been in the wrong way. Just grab our bone rotation tool and snap that bad boy right back into here. There we go. And even though this will not be visible at all, we're going to go ahead and do it. And once again, we get yeah, it's once been the wrong way, but it's fine. And we'll have his head raised back up. All right, so there we go. Exit guarantee. Stage left. Yes. After stage left.
Down to the bay.
All right, there we go. All right, and he's out. Okay, because he'll clear that, and well, I mean, there's not that much. So yeah, it's fine. We'll just leave it as is. Okay. Okay. So there's guarantee. Okay, back to frame 0. We're now going to saving. We're saving. Okay, don't crush it. Let's import in Moho object. Let's go to characters. Let's go to ready. Boop. And uniform. Pow. Okay, there she is. Import by reference. Okay. And there's no speaking that needs to happen. There's none. Let's kind of delete some of the problem areas that we might run into. Okay, just doing a little bit of cleanup on the model. Alrighty, and her badges will need to be on the other side because guess what? She's got to flip too. All right, let's flip her around. Flip horizontally. Pow. All right, and let's get her into her starting position at, oh, wait, let's go. All right, so, let's go to frame 1. All right, so, if guarantees that tall, Ratty is about this tall because she is about a little over 6 foot tall and he's 8 foot, so that's about right. That's pretty damn close. So that's what we're going to do. All right, Ratty starting position. I'll go ahead and get her into that. Okay, frame 1 here. We're going to get her into her body turn. Okay. Looks like she's already kind of in a walk position already. Maybe not that much of a turn over. There we go. That's good. All right, that's a pretty wide stride. She's not running, so that's going to bring this down here. I'll bring that down to there. Okay, there may be some stuff we have to fix with the leg joint there. Whoa, that is a bit off. Do I just grab this and just pull that over and fix it like that? Yeah, no, that's not gonna work all the way. Okay, so sometimes you cannot avoid having to correct your points. Pants is what it is. Right upper pant. All right, there we go. Okay. Work suit. There we go. Click right there. All right. There we go. Bam. All right. Like I said, sometimes you just can't. Let's get that lower left pant a little bit less janky looking. And hopefully on the reverse stride of it, it will be fine. All right, we hope. Checking the comments. There's nothing about cake in the comments. Okay, good. Moving right along. I have no idea why that would be. Not a clue. Okay. The new lingo. Didn't cotton to it. All right, so we're going to make her a bit she's about, no, she'd be about the right size for guarantee. She's going to be starting out a little bit further back, so she's going to be a little bit larger in frame than he, well, there we go. Grab the ratty bone layer so that everything will uniformly go up. There we go. Like so. I'm going to move her right up to there. Okay, perfect. All right, so.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go here. And we're going to hit to the, put the keyframe there. Bam. All right, now Ratty shall follow the GT out the door. So let us get this going. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move her target bone. See, this lower leg bone is targets this bone. This bone is not actually connected to any other bone. These two bones are the only ones that are not connected to the hip bone. This allows you to create anchored footsteps. And guess what? You had that wrong. You've got those arms in the wrong position. We're going to have to figure out something other than that one on... oh, and we're not lining up on the keyframes. Okay. Let's go to here. All right, let's see what type of open hand we've got here. Go open one. No. We need side two. Side two is good. All right, let's go down to the fist because she's probably going to have her hands balled up. She's not going to a fight yet. I might not. But that may be happening. So, oh, wrong one. Sorry. Side two. There we go. Bam. All right. Excellent. More relaxed stroll through the bridge on down. Okay. There we go. All right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get the lined up first here. Okay. Move the arms to replicate out the movement. It wasn't completely unnecessary to change those hand positions because you're probably not going to see them. But, hey, just in case. Nothing wrong with having everything correct, even though other people may never see it. You know it's correct. Peace of mind helps me sleep at night. All right. And we're gonna go down to here. Okay. Ooh, that's a little bit again. He's not running. And looks like we're gonna frame 9 this out. Okay. Now let's go to that layer transform tool. And we're going to shrink layer ever so slightly. All right. Ooh, but guess what? Did I scale that? I probably did. Let's do this. There we go. So scale, we're going to move it in 3-dimensional space ever so slightly to give us that concept. Now, just for S's and G's, we will go ahead and animate her off here, even though once we do the masking at the door frame, this will be a superfluous action. All right. It's fine. Okay, some of her hair is going to have to be fixed too, but I will do that in a second. Okay, but first let's get the rest of her animation. Fixed. Again, this probably will not be seen. But we know it's right and correct. Now let's give it a little bit of a rise in that walk. There we go. All right. And, ooh. Yikes. That's the wrong one. There we go. Let's change that over again. A little bit of a rise in that walk. There we go. Just checking which foot was behind. It worked that time. What do you know? Her hair is going to have a little bit of modification done to it, especially in the back. It's difficult to rig her hair from forward to the side because of the way the the drawing system works, actually, and the way I rigged it. So it might be better to have a hair switch, have a front hair and a side hair and a back hair. I will work on that for episode 4, but right now it's too late. We've got too much to do. We must charge forward as best we can. So we're going to have to do some point animation in order to make that look correct. It'll be fine. It'll be grand. Be great. Alrighty, and we're not going to do the final animation out there, so okay. Alright, so there we go. Okay, let's go to reset view, and let's go to layer 1. Let's reset this thing right here. Hit save, and while that saves, we'll think about what we've done. Alright. Let's hit play. Alright.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Modesty preserved. Alright. There will be no cake comments on this one. Alright. Meanwhile, back to 0. We have one more character to put in here. And that character is, of course, A1, who will be following Ratty out the door. So we're going to import Moho object, go up to characters. We're going to go down to Sulan Servitor. Designation A1. Alright, there we go. What happened? Well, he's behind the background image. That's what happened. Alright, well, let's make sure that he is of the correct size. About there. Okay. Also, needs to be flipped that way too, even though that animation would have been incredibly easy to do. I was oh yes, of course I did. Let's see here. I'm going to put him right about here. He'll be bobbling along quite close to her. That's his job. Stick to your crew member. Remember, Harry. All right. Alright, and we're going to leave him right there, and layer control or bone control. Let's do bone control, because this layer control is going to have to be positional type thing here too. Bingo. Alright, that's what we want. Alright. Reset view, and let's scroll out just a scoosh. Right, so as Freddy walks on screen, he is going to go right to there. 6, go right to there. Oh yeah, we need to fix her hair. Let's fix her hair once we get A1 done here. A1 is whoa, be hovering right along. Keeping pace. We're gonna go ahead and put him out to there. Okay, bam. Alright, I think that's fine, because it'll work close after that. So we're taking, what, 13 seconds? Probably. In After Effects. Anyway, alright, so we have some in-betweens to do. We're not gonna worry about that one, but we will worry about this one. So which way are we gonna go? We're gonna go up. Kind of a nice sine wave motion going on there. Yeah, that's good. Let's see what we got. Let's hit the old save-a-rooney one last time to make sure we don't crash this out and have to start all over again. Would be terrible. All right, let's go.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Bingo. All right. Excellent. All right. It looks. Oh, wait. Everything looks great except for her hair. The head layer. The hair back. Okay, so. All right, we need to get this hair under control. And how do we do that? Well, we will have to ooh. Try and keep this hair under as much control as I can without making it too, oh my gosh, this is getting crazy. Alright, let's go here. Let's grab that one too. Alright, let's grab this guy too. Transfer that down to there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never go backwards with smart.
Come on down to the bay. Down to the bay.
Okay, let's go and put that one right there. And that one down to there. Okay, let's gonna have to try and do the hey. Best we possibly can here. And keeping this somewhat under control. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy indeed, yes. Ooh. Sometimes I just let her hair do crazy stuff, and but this time it's been bugging me. I honestly say I'm honestly not quite that thrilled with how the hair system has worked. So, fortunate. But I'm going to try and keep everything from going completely crazy. There we go. And we were not going to have to, well, we might not have to worry about that. That might flare up a little bit, but before we get out the door here, let's see what we've got. She's out of shot. All right, so she'll be out of shot at this time. Let's take a peek at that hair animation, as I have corrected some of the more crazier aspects of her hair. Now, it's me wanted to do something distinct in silhouette, and the back of her hair definitely is. Okay, well.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Well, almost. Almost.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Dang it. Did I not keyframe that? Did I not? I thought I did. But I've got bones trying to override it. I've got bones trying to override everything at the same time, so I'm causing all sorts of problems for myself. I am going to have to do a hair front and hair back switch layer, hair side switch layer for her in the future in order to keep crazy stuff like this from happening and wasting time, making sure her hair is perfect. Anyway, it's going to have to go as is. All right, well. All right, so let's get Guarantee going. As he will take the longest to render out because he's got all these gradients on him. Oh, we're going to go to here. I'm going to find our... That's right. This is the third episode, and it's going along quite swimmingly. If it were the second episode, I would have been finished like weeks ago. But unfortunately, I did not. New folder. We'll call this new folder renders. Like that. Select. Okay, now let's make sure that we have an underscore GT so we know that this is guaranteed. We know that's guaranteed whenever we get to After Effects. All right, and he is rendering. You cannot see that. Off screen. It's on my second monitor. All right, so now we've got Ratty selected, and we're going to go to Export Animation, to Image Sequence, and we're going to select the same path we just created. And here we're going to do an underscore R for Ratty. And now she is good at rendering. Now we're going to go to the Sulan Suvatar A1, and we're going to go to Export Animation, Image Sequence, same path we just made, and underscore A1. Or it looks like Al, actually. And that is it. Okay, boom. All right, Ratty is halfway done. Guarantees about a quarter of the way, and now everyone's coming in here. Everyone's fighting for processor power. Who will win? Okay, looks like A1 is done, and this leaves us with Guarantee. Okay, while Guarantee is about a third of the way through, we're gonna move on to we're gonna say 13 seconds. Okay, in After Effects, there's that scene we did just a few minutes ago. All right, shot 247, sorry. 74. Oh, don't I wish it. All right, let's hit save. Sure, all that's saved. Okay, new composition. All right, we're going to call this one shot 47, and we're going to change the time to 13 seconds. The possibility of going out longer. Okay. While that is going on, we are going to do the basic setup here. So let's get the basic setup ready. Okay, so we're going to bring this in as an image sequence. Okay, let's reset that. Interpret footage to 24 because it's at 30 right now. That's not going to work. Okay, so this little clip is the door opening and closing. We're going to divide it into two clips. So let's grab some other stuff first. Back up here. We're going to grab the open door. Correct. And we're now going to go into the proper folder and grab the closed door. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. So that's... Where was it? Oh, that had to be right. I had to do that right. Wait a second. What's going on here? Oh, just a second here. Oh, for some reason. How very odd. There's no preview on that. I was getting it down myself. Okay, this is the base of the scene right here. Let's go ahead and grab our white overlay here, because there are lights coming from the ceiling. And let's grab that solid black to hide that white crevasse in the background image. Whoop. Okay, so there we go. All right, let's make sure that those drag out the length of the scene because currently they don't. All right, now they do. Hey, it's a miracle. Okay, let's bring in Guarantee's speech because Guarantee is about 90% of the way there. There's his little wave file there, and we'll drop that into here. Okay. Now, waiting for Guarantee to finish. Let's go ahead and bring in our other two parsons whilst GT finishes render. He's about 99% there. Okay, so this is A1. We're interpreting the footage from 30 to 24 frames. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, he's ready. I'm not going to put him in just yet. Not just yet. We're going to use guarantee as the way of telling how long the doors will remain open, or when the doors open for the first part. And then Ratty's exit will tell us when they close. Let's not worry about all that just yet. Let's get everyone in. Guarantee has finished rendering. Yay! All right, let's bring him in here. There he is in all his orange and green glory. All right. Okay, so, well, let's go ahead and, no, let's not do that. Close that one out. What we need is our inner shadow on our gradient overlay, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to apply it to guarantee right now. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're going to scale him up just a little bit so the edges don't quite show, because there's some edges there. All right, so there we go. Okay, so the door will open at 3. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Okay. Let's grab our PG right here, and we're just going to drop that right down here. So basically that door opens. Right there. And we're just going to take that down there. Okay. You're like, what happened? How are you going to do the open door? Well, that's easy. We're just going to grab this open door, and we're just going to drag that down in front of this open door, and we're going to drag that image to there, and we may probably drag it back to 12 for now. For now, and that will be our open door. See? All right, excellent. Now, to get the illusion that guarantee is actually passing through this flat PNG, we are going to go to here, and we're going to grab our pin tool, actually grab the stylus too, and we're going to zoom back just a skosh. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's go to here, to here, over to here, over to here, here. And I am on a shape layer. I am doing the wrong thing. What the heck was I doing? I must have been not on the right layer. I'm sorry about that. Oh, womp. All right. Having the guarantee layer. Now we're masking him with the pen tool instead of creating some sort of strange shape to go over everything. Now, he's masked. So when he gets to here, now we find out the truth of the matter, is that opening is going to have to go back to right about here. So he starts moving to the door intuitively will open. And he makes his clearance out. Woo! All right. And that's what we have to do for each and every other. Now, I'm not entirely sure about that yet, so let's get Ratty into the mix before we do the door closing animation. Okay, so let's grab... Oh, I'm sorry. Grab Ratty. I did reinterpret her footage, right? That would be embarrassing if I did not. Okay, I did. Just double checking. You do things so often, you sometimes forget what you've done. Okay, so that is also her, and we're going to move her right to here and see what happens. Okay, there she is. Okay, let's go ahead and hit paste, and boom, we have pasted in her highlights and gradient shadow as well. All right, and we're going to do the same thing we did for her. Make sure her layer is selected this time when we grab the pencil's grabbed. Okay, so there we go. Let's go to here, making sure that we get everything in here that needs to be, and there we go. And through the door she goes. Pow! Beautiful! Amazing. Alright, we have one more character to put into the scene. A1. Grab A1. Alright. I can tell that he's already been transferred reinterpreted from 30 to 24 because it's the exact same length as the other one, so his run time. Okay, and A1 only needs his highlight, so we're going to go ahead and go down to here because we're going to hit Control Paste, and it won't, it won't affect since he's not talking. We're just going to leave that gradient on there this time. All right, so now he needs his mask done. Make sure his layer is selected this time. That's stupid. Any crazy mistakes I've made? I don't like repeating mistakes. I like to find brand new ones. Yes, there we go. Bam. And he's out the door. All right. Well, that's great. There we have all these characters going out the door. Wonderful. Let's just duplicate this layer right here. What we need to do is we need to go down to here. Right down to here. All right. So as soon as everyone has left, we need to close this door. Oh. Alright, now we go down to our open door layer and we just drag this one on the blue line. And bippity boppity boo, wouldn't you? We now have an door that opens and closes. Let's see what this entire scene looks like before we hit or put into the render queue, not hit render. All right, let's see.
Come on then, down to the bay.
Aha! And we're gonna leave it at 13 seconds.
Come on then, down.
Wait, it doesn't need to be that long. No. I think 12 seconds will be fine. Let's go up to composition settings, and off screen we're going to change that from 13 to 12 because I don't think we need that extra second. There's no crossfade needed in this scene, so we're going to hit that, and we're going to add this to the render queue, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to save this, save it in the Crick folder, and then once it's rendered, it will be tossed into Premiere and into line with all the rest of the scenes that have been done so far. And we're off. See, the adventure was not really designed with Guarantee in mind in the first place. There have been probably some alterations made by Indavo to accommodate his mincitude. But not all of them. And so here we go. The old Saveroni, and hey, that is it. Boom. One very simple scene, and then one slightly more complicated scene. And we are now approaching 250. Woo! Like I said, we're powering through, and hopefully this will be done soon. At least to the frame by frame, and who knows how long that would take. That shall be interesting. Some live streams there will be interesting. That's just for sure, as I stumble around and try and figure out how to do this. I have big plans. Execution of those big plans will probably not be pretty, but hopefully the final product will. That is truly what matters in these Indavo endeavors. Haha. I'm apologizing. All right, so well, that's a Saturday afternoon art stream. I have things to do, a place to go, people see, so I hope everyone has a great